Good afternoon, Sat Sangat, with the astrology of the lunation that is coming up in 2 days, February 23rd, which is Sunday. And this lunation is the new moon in Pisces. The new moon in Pisces will occur on the February 23rd, and it will be at 9:33 a.m. in Texas. And you can find out your time in your local let's start again. Sad Sangat with the astrology for the lunation. This is about the new moon in Pisces occurring Sunday, February 23rd. And it's at 4 degrees of Pisces, 29 minutes. And in Pisces, the dreamland. So that's why I titled the video, Are You Puzzled Yet? Because Pisces is the sign where we lose ourselves in the collective, is the sign of the spiritual realm. And it's the sign of spirituality, of charity, of unconditional love, inspiration, and the highest degree and level of creativity. So it is the sign that loves everybody. So Pisces new moon is going to be very inspirational, to say the least. We just had this week the sextile between Jupiter and Neptune, both considered rulers of Pisces. Jupiter was the traditional ruler of Pisces, and Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces. And in sextile, they are in a very good relationship, positive for spirituality, increase interest in spiritual matters. For example, also very increased perception, intuition, and for example, interest in philosophies, ideologies, and also the spiritual practice. For example, you may have an interest in meditation or any kind of spirituality or religious practice. So there is also an idealization of justice, or an interest in moral law or natural law. It could be also, now that there is so much politics going on in the US, it could be an idealization of political ideas or philosophies. Also, some people who have a certain level of spiritual development can have mystical experiences, and also you will feel an increase in your level of intuition. It's and also with Mercury retrograde in Pisces, that helps. And it's almost conjunct for, it's about 4 or 5 degrees away from the new moon. So Mercury also is an active actor in the new moon energy. So with Mercury in Pisces, our mind is more, is acting more in non-linear, non-logical or reasonable way. But for example, you may have complete concepts and ideas that or knowledge that you can't explain logically, but you have the certainty that you know that that's the way it is, and you can't explain logically or scientifically why, but ideas may come in the form of images and also like videos in your mind that play out in a way. It's also for example, a time of too much dreaming when you sleep as well. You may be daydreaming, but you may also have more vivid dreams, and also revelations or insights or inspiration during the sleeping time. So you may also be more concerned about humanitarian issues, like people who are suffering. Maybe you have to visit someone in the hospital, or to care for someone who is sick, or to do any kind of charity work, or volunteer as a service to the public. So the new moon in Pisces is also, let me see here. It's also sextile Mars, which ties actions to those themes that I was talking about. So traditional ways of, for example, worshiping. You may go to church and participate in ceremonies or in rituals. Church or monastery or synagogue, and you may do traditional practices, for example. So Mars is actions, and I made another video talking about Mars square Chiron, where I went in detailed about the square. This aspect is very challenging, so I'm not going to take time to explain right now, but there is also Mars is also trining Uranus. That gives this energy boost to the chart of the new moon. So there might be unexpected changes of energy, and that will affect the actions that you take. So I would like also to talk about this Mercury retrograde, right? Mercury is in Pisces, is retrograde, is almost together with the sun, and the moon is very close together. So it has this moon has this flavor of communication and thinking, and probably receiving insights, inspiration, and ideas that are clearer or not, depending on how tuned in you are. But as I said, mainly through inspiration and through spiritual endeavors. But the fact that Mercury is under those conditions, retrograde in Pisces, and also invisible or occult, it is in the heliacal phase, which is too close to the sun to be seen. And it's about to be Cazimi, which is the exact position of Mercury in the center of the sun. So later on in the week, next week, and also in the sign of Pisces, which is, as I said, the sign of where everything ends and is dissolved, and is not ending in the sense of death, but it's the sign of the beginning and the end, right? Because it's the spiritual level of existence where everything is in the present. So we may have this sense of the suspension of time, because Pisces is no time, no space. It's completely floating in space. It is the same as being inside the deep ocean, for example, where you have no points of reference, and this is a little bit promoting a little bit of confusion in your mind, especially because Mercury is there. So what happens is that our mind is in a situation where we don't find a way to put together ideas in a reasonable, logical way, and we are lacking points of reference. I refer you for more details on this lunation to my blog, where I wrote an article about a week ago on the new moon in Pisces, and I put a picture of a lighthouse, right? Before the GPS technology, there were navigation, and the ships were guided by those lighthouses in the very edge of the ocean, guiding with the light, guiding the ships to safe harbor. And this is what we need right now in order to make sense of things, but also in order to put together this chaos of information, or chaos of thinking and ideas. We need this points of reference that are very physical and very tangible, and very that you can trust, right? Points of reference that you can trust, and that they will guide you to a good conclusion. If you're trying to find out the truth of something, you may need to refer to very practical things, refer to physical places, or data, raw data that is showing what the truth is. Because wherever you natal chart, there is going to be confusion. For example, if it is in your seventh house, the confusion will come from other people that will be very hard to pinpoint. And also what they say, what they tell you may be misleading, or maybe deceiving, plainly deceiving, but it may be intentional or non-intentional, because they are as confused as you are. And so suppose that it is in your second house, right? Is about finances and your values and your assets and your resources, possessions, and things like that. And you may find out that you don't know what happened to your money, or you don't know how you spent it, or you don't know if it came in, if you were paid, or you were not paid. And things related to your finances. If it is in your 10th house, for example, it's about the profession, and also your civil status or your public status. And you may find out your career. So you may find out that you really don't know what's going on with your profession or your career. You may have a blurred blurred vision, cloudy vision. So this is what's going on with the new moon in Pisces, together with Mercury retrograde. But Mercury retrograde will help you go and review and reconsider and meditate and go in. It's going to be an internal reflection about things. So it may be of great benefit for you to find the truth about that house and the things that are going on in your life. So let me take a look at the notes. So what else I wanted to say? We also have Jupiter is square Venus. So this could be something, a challenge about your finances, and also this. Let me see my notes here. Venus. I get tired of talking because my throat hurts a little bit. Yeah, Venus receives also other minor aspects. It will, with Jupiter, there is some expansion of ideas in Capricorn, traditional ideas that may be clashing with your values, and also with your religious or philosophical or spiritual activities, or social activities or ideas. And it may be this aspect also favors overindulgence in all pleasures of life, either love or sweets, food that you really like, anything that is pleasurable. So also in love, for example, you may fall in love with a person who is exuberant and who is spiritual, or very optimistic and very enthusiastic, or foreigner. Jupiter rules foreign cultures and people. So that's another possibility if there is love in the picture. But be careful, because you may find yourself overspending. There is also this need to, because Venus is in Aries, which is go, 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 and think later. Because Aries is impulsive, so the desires that you may be feeling are impulsive, and you go and you do it, and you think later, and you realize, oops. So, and those desires may be disproportionate, so you may overdo it and regret it later. So, but of course, they are always considered benefic, Venus and Jupiter. But benefic if you don't overdo it, because if you exaggerate your expenses, you may meet trouble, right? So that's the main energies that are present in the chart. Another thing that I wanted to point out is that the majority of the planets are occupying the last quadrant of the zodiac, which is from Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, those three signs that are the ending of the cycle. So Capricorn is the highest point in the sky, that's why is the public image of you personally, your career, your civil or public status. That's the maximum light, right? And then from there, it starts fading away the energy because it's coming to the end of the cycle, which is Pisces. And Pisces is the dissolution, and where everything is together, everything is present. As I said in the beginning, everything is. There's no space, there's no separation, it's all together merging in one. So this talks about that we are ending a cycle as a humanity. We are ending a cycle that has to do with our social aspects of life, right? Capricorn is, as I said, the public. Aquarius is the social groups and alliances and your friends, your social life, in the groups that are like-minded groups that are, for example, political parties are also the groups that are united by an ideal or a purpose. And then Pisces is the end of the cycle where everything meets together. There are a couple of planets in Aries and Taurus, but one thing that is important to consider is that all the planets are on almost all, because Mars is approaching the south node, but pretty soon all of them will be on the east side of the nodal axis. And that means that we are also, is the completion of a cycle that will bring all the energy from the past and focused in the future, which is the north node in Cancer, where we look for nourishment, we look for a sense of emotional security and emotional support and comfort. Cancer is the sign of the family, and and home. So all of those planets are traveling towards the north node in Cancer. So this is, as I said, completion of a cycle, and at the same time, the beginning of a cycle going towards that future that we, all of us in this chaotic situation that we are experiencing in most places in the world, is everybody is looking for security, for safety. With the for example, this new virus that is spreading so fast and out of control almost. So everybody is concerned about what safety we'll have in the future. So we need to use the experiences of the past in order not to repeat the mistakes or the actions that have led us to the point where we are so unsafe. So, as I said, all the energy is focusing on a future of security. There is the movement in different countries. There is this movement of nationalism, where protecting our borders, protecting our own, protecting our resources and financial or any resources, and protecting the identity, and that is a tendency that is going on. But remember, Pisces, now the sun also and the moon are in Pisces. So we are shedding light on this concept that we are one humanity. And if we are to survive, Chiron in Aries, if we are to survive, we need to focus our actions into this idea that whatever we do will affect everybody, because we are one humanity. It doesn't matter what color is the skin, what nationality, what culture you have, you will be affected, and you will suffer the consequences no matter what, because everything is affecting everybody. And the other thing, final, is that Mars is also activating the December 26th solar eclipse. It was the beginning of something, and Mars is also action, assertiveness, but it's also aggression and violence. So remember, from in between the eclipses, in between the December 26th and January 10th, with the lunar eclipse, there was this hint of war, right? Because it was the assassination of the Supreme General of Iran, and it was the reprisals, retaliation, and so Mars activating the solar eclipse, which was also a new moon, may visit or revisit, right? Mercury retrograde, we are revisiting events. So it wouldn't be surprising if something related to what happened in between eclipses comes up again. So hopefully there is no violence, but keep peace in your heart. Be kind, be gentle, and make peace. Even if you live alone, be in peace with yourself, with your neighbors, and make peace around you with your loved ones. If there is aggressive words from other people, you stay calm, breathe deeply, because these will be hard times. I mean, Mars square Chiron today. So I wish you the best. I hope these ideas inspire you and give you something to think about during this weekend that we'll have this new moon, and apply it to what happens in your life personally, right? If you don't know where Pisces is in your chart, you can order a reading with me. I can give you a report of your chart, and or you can go online. There are several places where you can draw your birth chart, and you can find out where Pisces is. It may be your second house, as I said, your finances. It could be your seventh house. It could be any area of your life. So be safe, keep calm, and make peace. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.